Wow, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm delighted to be the one doing the presentation today. On behalf of the people who have invited you, I want to welcome all of you here to this session. I truly believe that we are going to have an interactive session where we will be able to learn something about bone and joint health. Before I start, let me wish happy festive season to everyone. And to let you know that here at Near Life, we do this session every Sunday for the last so many Sundays. And it's been a delight. We've learned a lot. And we truly hope that even today's session is going to be useful to you and the people around you. My name is Gladys Njura. I'm a trained teacher by profession. I graduated from Kenyatta University in 1996. And then I moved on for a short stint in the banking industry where I worked for 6 years. And on my 6th year, I was invited to a session about health and wellness and about business. And I remember going to that session, open-minded, and I started learning stuff that nobody had been keen to give me details about. And I tell you, from there on, that was 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I have never looked back. I've been hungry to learn, and the information I've gotten over the years has been very helpful to me, to my family, and to people around me at large. So welcome to the session. Today, we are going to specialize on bone and joint health. And I truly believe that we are going to learn something because for me, this is a very special topic. I say special because at the point when our family was getting into the Near Life opportunity to understand what they do about health, my mom was having a challenge with her bones. And we thought that that's the life we know. We thought that's the way it's gonna be. And I remember growing up and my mom was always having challenges with her bones. She broke her one hand several times, and there's a certain leg that she broke also several times. I remember the last time she broke her leg, it took very many years to heal. And so I remember when we were told about this and the fact that it's all about health, the first thing we asked is, we have our mom not too well with her osteoporosis. What can we do? She was actually due for an operation. And we were told to listen in, see whether we can improve her diet and see whatever else we can do that Near Life can offer. And we watch it for the next 4 months and see. And that's what we did. And the good news is 4 months and beyond, my mom did not go for that operation. So to date, it's been 20 years. And so for me, this topic is very close to my heart. And maybe I'll also mention that bone and joint health is a silent disease, you know, where so many people have challenges with their bone mass and they may not know, only to wake up one day and you've broken a hip, you've dislocated something, and little did you know that it's something that was in you. But also, very importantly to note is that we all have bones. We all have the skeletal structure, each one of us. And so this is a topic that is not just for the people who may have health challenges as yet. It's for all of us, because if we don't take care of our bone mass, if we don't take care of our joints, if we don't take care of our bones, we are candidates to having a challenge. So welcome on board. And just let's go through this and learn more. But I know beyond here, there's so much more you also can learn. So welcome, welcome. So when we talk about bone and joint health, I want to start generally by talking about general health, because that's where it all begins. These things just don't happen. They happen because of a reason. And so we need to know that your health is one of your greatest wealths. You know, if we talk about wealth, wealth is about social capital. It's about financial capital. It's about your health, your physical health. It has quite a number of pillars into it. And when we look at all those pillars, one of the strongest of those pillars is health. And one of the statements that has made me really understand this very keenly is that your health is your prerogative. It's each one of us's responsibility to take care of our health. The same way you take care of your career, the same way you take care of your children, you take care of your house, take care of your investments, you must be very, very keen on taking care of your health. And now that extends to now your children. If you're a parent or a guardian, that means it should extend to your children and to your immediate family. That is your brothers, your sisters, your parents, and then the larger family, and eventually the people who are around you and the people you keep meeting. So this is a very pertinent discussion that we are going to have. And my prayer is that we start getting interested to truly understand that health begins with you, and there's so much that you need to learn. And after you learn, you need to practice. And after you practice, you need to be a candle shining light to somebody else. So when we talk about health, the sad news is that the World Health Organization had projected many years ago, they had projected by 2020 that generally chronic diseases will account to, out of every 4 deaths, 3 will come out of the chronic diseases. And you know, most of these chronic diseases are not transmittable. You can't transmit to somebody else. They are quite personal. But of course, some of them are clustered into a family because of the genes, because of the eating habits, because of the way that family may live with one kind of lifestyle. So these diseases are very, they have been really hurting people, and we've seen that in Kenya a lot. Like heart disease, it's very critical, you know. We are told your first heart attack can be your last, and it's the highest, the #1 killer, by the way. Then the other thing, so you need to make sure that you're checking your BP and your cholesterol levels and your body fat levels. The other thing is cancer. Cancer is a very painful disease. It's a very expensive disease. And very many Kenyans are succumbing, they have succumbed into cancer, and we have many cases as well. Then we have diabetes, also very silent on hurting people's, it really hurts people's organs and all that. And stroke is there, respiratory disease, obesity, and others now like the bone and joint health, others like for hormones. All those things are really hurting us. And what could be the reason? One of the reasons is the habits that we have. There are some very core things that are needed for you to say you have a healthy lifestyle. So one of the core things is, just a minute. One of the core things is that you need to have daily exercise. It's not easy, but it has to be done. So if you're not doing it daily, at least you need to do it 3 times, 4 times a week, where you do some exercise that will give pressure to your heartbeat, your joints, your bones, you know, maybe sweat a little bit or a lot, you know. You just need to do that because it is very important. And remember, exercise is also very critical for your bones. If you don't have strong bones now, you have a problem because you need to have strong bones into your old age. The other thing is to eat healthy. Eating healthy is relative to many people, but we are going to look at the base, really the base of how we need to eat well. And so we'll be looking into that. The other thing is reducing stress. Each one of us has a reason to be stressed, but you need to make sure that you manage your stress levels, because when your stress is higher than the usual normal, it means your immunity goes down. And when your immunity goes down, then your body is open to those diseases that we are talking about. Then you need to take a lot of water. You do need to take a lot of water because water is very good. You see, even the circulation, transportation of so many things, removal of toxins, you know, because you could even have toxin deposits in your bone joints and all that. So having your 2 liters a day, very, very important. And of course, there are many other reasons, other things like you need to rest. You need your 6 to 8 hours. I know we can be busy doing whatever it is we do, but that is logic that is not understood by the body. If the body requires rest, it requires rest. It cannot listen to your logic because there's a reason why you need your 6 to 8 hours so that your body can repair. In fact, during the nighttime is when your skeletal, the entire skeleton formation, that's when most of the repair happens after the damage that has happened within the day. So those are very, very important things, very, very critical. The other thing that is very important is making sure that you maintain your correct weight. According to each person's height given to you by God, there's a certain weight you should not go beyond. So there's a parameter of what you should not go below and what you should not go beyond. And that's basically called your body mass index. So you need to understand how to calculate your index. You can like use the kgs, your weight in kgs divided by your height in meters squared. That's one way of calculating, in a layman's way of calculation. If the calculation comes below 18.5, that means you're underweight and it's extremely dangerous. Now, if it is between 18.5 to 24.9, you're good. That is the ideal index. Beyond 25, you're actually now adding weight excessively. So that becomes overweight. If it goes 30 plus, you're obese. Beyond 35, you're actually morbid obese, and you need to do something urgently about it, but of course in the correct way. When you're looking at it, it should be done in the correct way. So weight is a very important aspect for health generally, and even more importantly because of the joint health, because the more weight you have, the more pressure you give on your organs, and the more pressure you give on your joints, especially the lower part from the pelvic or from the backbone going down. So that is very, very critical and important. Now, each one of us, I can tell you for sure, we want to live a vibrant life. We want in our 80s, we are vibrant. In our 90s, at least we are vibrant, we are moving, we are still okay, you know. But what is happening today? Many people are not achieving this vibrancy as required. So on this graph, you realize that if you don't do the things I have mentioned earlier and several other things, it means now that your vibrancy starts going down as early as in your 20s, you know, and that means your stress levels have gone up, it affects that. Your sleep patterns are down, it affects your status, your health status. You are not exercising, it will affect your status. Your weight is high, it will affect your status. And that is why you see now these diseases start setting in slowly by slowly, because the damage is being done a day at a time. And so we are saying we need to work on ourselves so that we are able to correct this challenge and we stop having a situation where your health status is going down daily. And if at all you are in a position where maybe something is not right in your body, whatever it is we've talked about, whatever challenge you may be going through, it means you can actually work on it and rebuild it back to vibrancy, you know, that level there. Even if you're down, how? If you actually work on it, you find that you have a level of better health status as the years move by. So now, let's look at the dietary facts, because it's very important to understand this. One of the dietary facts from the doctors is that 95% of the population, we are eating foods that lack nutrition. And 75% we are deliberately consuming incorrect foods. And when we talk about eating right, what does that mean? This is what we call a healthy food pyramid. This is a guide of how your plate should be over the day, you know. And we are told you need sufficient whole grains. Why sufficient whole grains? Because whole grains in them have elements that are called lipids and sterols, the good oils that are at the germ area of the grain, and that is what takes care of your cells. So the number one thing is to make sure that your cells are at their best. So question is, are you taking sufficient whole grains from whole maize, whole wheat, whole rice, whole soya, not to mention all the others like oats and barley and all the others. That includes even spaghetti. It's supposed to be whole, should be the brown stuff, you know, whether it's spaghetti, whether it's macaroni. I don't know, ask yourself that question. Then moving on, you need to take a lot of fruits and vegetables. A lot of fruits and vegetables. Reason being, a lot of fruits and vegetables means that you are doing a minimum of 6 going to 13, 15 different types of fruits and vegetables every day. And in those fruits and vegetables, the person who invited you will give you more information. We are talking about having carotenoids, at least 3 servings, flavonoids, 2 servings, cruciferous, 2 servings. If you're on the call and you're not familiar with those terminologies, don't worry. Those are things that you're going to learn that are very important for you. And Mr. Google can also help you a lot to understand. So that mix and blend of those is very, very important because our skeletal structure requires a lot of vitamins, requires a lot of nutrition that comes from the fruits and vegetables. And it also reduces what we call oxidation. When there's a lot of oxidation in the body and inflammation, the body hurts. And it hurts your joints and your bones. The other thing is that what quality proteins are you taking? You know, when it comes to proteins, the best proteins are from the plant-based proteins. Reason being, the plant-based proteins are alkaline in nature. And something alkaline is not really harmful. Our body needs to be more alkaline than acidic. And so when it comes to eating the animal-based proteins, we need to eat them sparingly. And more importantly, we eat more of the white meat and not excessively as well. Because you could do white meat and it could be having a lot of fatty stuff and cholesterol. So there needs to be a very good balance there. The reason I'm talking about the animal-based protein is because they are acidic in nature when they get into your body. And so when they are acidic, it means they'll definitely attack parts of the body. There will be a lot of inflammation. And one of the areas to get affected by that is the joints and the bones. Then finally, we need to do a small measure of fats and sugars, not too much though, because already the whole grains, fruits and vegetables and proteins, they have natural fats and sugars according to how God created them. So you need to take just 1 spoon of sugar per day, 1 spoon of fat for cooking. If you can be able to steam your food or maybe put olive oil after cooking, that could be much better. But because of our Western diet, our way of living, the convenience of how we live, you realize that we have inverted this pyramid upside down. So we are doing a lot of sugars, a lot of fats, a lot of refined foods. And all these foods have a lot of colors and preservatives and additives. And people are eating a lot of animal-based proteins, sausages, bacons, smokies, meat, all sorts of meats, you know, eggs, a lot of yogurt. People overdo on yogurt. And you know, yogurt should be the plain yogurt, not the colored yogurt. The colored yogurt has been put a lot of artificial colors. And actually we are giving a lot to our children, which is not very good. And we've been eating a lot of junk food. And more importantly, a lot of funny juices. All these juices we are finding in the market. Many of them have artificial sugars, and some of that is industrial sugar that is very dangerous for your bone mass. It actually eats up your bone mass. So you need to make sure that you're keen on that. Now let's go straight now to bone and joint health. A bone is a living tissue and it plays a very important role, the structural role in the body. And I'm telling you, you'll know this because if you don't take care of your bones and you have bone loss, and the mass goes down, you start getting a lot of aches in the body, and you really cannot place why you're having so much aches and pains in the body. Yeah. So because the bone is a living tissue, every day it requires to be renewed every single day. And that is why we gave that structure of eating right. So every single day you need to make sure you are renewing your body so that the older cells are replaced by newer cells that are well nourished and ready to take care of you. The other thing is that you need to know that the minerals, especially, and other things like and other things like making sure that you have good mineral absorption. The most important minerals for the body are calcium, magnesium, and then there are other vitamins that help the maintenance of that. So that is very, very important. And vitamin D3 is very, very critical, especially for the absorption of the calcium and the magnesium. And also vitamin C is very, very critical. So now, moving forward, what are the common disorders for bone joint and joint health? Some of the common disorders are like things like osteoporosis. You know, osteoporosis is a situation where the bone density is being compromised over time. Just a minute. Okay, so it means it's been compromised over time, and that means that, just a minute. It's been compromised over time, the density is low, the bone mass is interfered with, and you are at a risk of fractures. And even if you don't get fractures, then it means there's going to be a problem. You're going to have a lot of pains. Even your dental, your teeth are going to be very weak. One of the things that can tell you you're not doing well is if your teeth are not doing very well. Then of course, not to mention the fractures and breaking and all that kind of thing. Those are very, very common. Then there are other diseases related to the bones, like the scoliosis. That is where you find that you have either an S or a C shape where the bones are concerned. And guys, we need to be very careful with our children. The way we feed our children can actually affect them. When they are young, they could be having delayed milestones, or those things can happen before puberty. And so it's very important to make sure that even our children are well covered when it comes to taking care of our bones. Then the other thing is the Paget's disease, which is, it affects actually the bones, the way they regrow, you know, the way the bones break down and the way they regrow. There's a lot of excessive breakdown and regrowth that leads to either bigger and softer tissues than usual. And this could be another cause for fractures. So it's very important that we be very careful. And of course, we need to take care of our backbone. You know, everyone's backbone is very, very critical. Now, other disorders related to joints are osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis now affects, it comes to the cartilages, where your cartilages are getting worn out, either because of disease or because of inflammation or because they are lacking important things like boron and zinc, and something called glucosamine is very important for taking care of your cartilage. So if your cartilage keeps wearing out over the years, which is a natural thing, and you're not eating the foods that replace that, you have a problem. Another thing is a rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is where you have an autoimmune disease, which has a lot of inflammation. You know, there's a lot of inflammation in there. And now the body's immune system is actually attacking the healthy cells mistakenly. And that leads to a lot of swellings in your joint areas. Where you have joints, you have a lot of swellings, and that is affected, and there's a lot of pain. It could be either the hands, the wrists, the joints, and even some areas you may not see, you know, within the body. And that causes a lot of even deformities. Most people who have deformities in their skeletal structures, they could be having rheumatoid arthritis, and it's a very, very painful situation. So what are the causes of bone and joint diseases? One could be injury. It could be an accident, you fell down, you're hit by something, or you overloaded yourself when you're picking stuff. Make sure you're not lifting things that are heavier than you, because that could damage even your backbone. Diet. A lot of diet is lacking nutrients, as we've seen. Over-exercise. There are people who actually over-exercise. And when you over-exercise and you're not giving back the body the calcium, the magnesium, and the things needed to build onto that, then you find you have a problem. And other diseases like leukemia. A disease like leukemia actually affects the blood, the skeletal, the bone, because the bone marrow is part of what even produces blood. And many cancers, actually, they affect the bones a lot. So if you find somebody who is having a cancer challenge, it is very important to make sure that they have a lot of calcium so that the bone is not very interfered with. Mineral deficiency, infections. We've seen now osteoporosis, overweight. When you have an underactive thyroid, you know, when your thyroid is underactive, and that could be another issue. Family history, hormonal changes, smoking can affect you. You know, when you take a lot of, when you smoke, it affects your vitamin C amounts in the body. And vitamin C is very critically needed for absorption of calcium and other things that could help the bone structure. Certain medications can also affect you, and excessive drinking of alcohol, definitely that will affect you. Now, because we've seen we have a lot of gaps, plus other external challenges that are coming in, definitely we are here because we always must seek a solution. And that is where Neolife comes in. Neolife was formed in 1958 in the US, after a serious research had been done to find out why degenerative diseases were affecting people. And when that research was done, it was definite that we have a lot of deficits, because besides not eating well, remember our soils are depleted of some of the vitamins we've talked about, because we are farming with fertilizer 24/7. Remember the way we harvest food. Sometimes we harvest food when it's overripe or under, and when it's not ready, because you want to rush it to the market, or maybe it lacked market, it stayed longer, and that affects the value of the content of the vitamins and minerals you take. Transportation affects the quality of your food. The throwing in and out from the shamba to the vehicles, you know, the way it's packaged, the way it's done in the market, up to the kiosk where you get, it affects the quality of the food you get. Even the drying, you know, the way you dry the whole grains can affect the content of the vitamins and the minerals you need, and the lipids and the oils. Then, of course, there's the food preparation. How are we preparing food? Are we overcooking it? Are we preparing not in the right way? And then, of course, now other factors that come in. We've said we have a lot of preservatives, a lot of toxins, and all those things will be deposited in some of those areas we've talked about. So how do we write these? One, you must start maintaining a healthy weight, and you exercise. Make sure you are exercising. If exercise is too much for you, make sure you're walking a lot as part of your exercise regime. The other thing is you need to get enough calcium, magnesium, D3, and vitamin C. Very, very critical. And making sure that you have a healthy diet. So, and supplements. Supplementing is now it's in the 20th century, you can't afford to stay without supplementation. Ask me why. I'll ask you just one question. If we are so well read, and there's a lot of development in the medicine world, why is it people are sick? Why is it people are sick? Definitely is because there are deficits. And those deficits could be done ignorantly or knowingly. Then, of course, avoid smoking, and you need to think seriously about nutritional supplements. Now, when we talk about supplements, every time you look for a supplement, two things you must look for importantly. One, it needs to be whole food based. Whole food based. 2, it needs to be organically have been done. And those things can be ascertained and you can learn. Even when you go to the pharmacy, the pharmacist will always be able to tell you, this is synthetic, this is whole food, and that is important. But now with Neolife, everything that the scientists have done is whole food, based in nature, backed by science, and that is ratified by the United States Department of Agriculture, CDC, World Health Organization, Global Science Network. All that is vetted. So we have a scientific advisory board that every time when they come up with something, they have to take it for vetting. So that when they are going to the market, they're going to the market telling the world, hey, we have something that has been looked at and it passes above board measures. And that is why Neolife is one of the oldest nutritional companies. In fact, it is so old because it's 63 years old. And so you need to be comfortable about that. You don't have to worry about anything because the scientific advisory board, they have it covered. So let's begin by filling this gap. Now, how do we write this upside down? Number 1, you need something called the TRNN. Why TRNN? Because the TRNN has the oils that we missed when we eat refined starch, and it comes and repairs the damage already done in our cells. If the cells lack the whole grains, then that means they are damaged already, they are unhealthy already, and they are very prone to see disease. And now we start seeing our health status going down. So TRNN comes and repairs the damage, returns the oils that are required to the cell. And the first thing you need to do is cellular nutrition. So when you repair your body at cellular level, the membrane is well taken care of. It's oiled by the good oils that we are talking about from the whole grains. That's what TRNN does. TRNN is a world first. No other company in the world has been able to do that. And we are talking about this confidently because it's important to go and also do your own research. Try and find out another company that has the lipids and sterols. You will not find it. So TRNN is a world first. Then, of course, you need to boost your immunity with the carotenoid complex. Remember the fruits and vegetables I talked about, carotenoids, flavonoids, and cruciferous. Carotenoids are very, very critical, and they come from the deep colors from the fruits and vegetables. So that is very, very critical, and it will help remove oxidation. If there's something that messes the body is oxidation. So it is an antioxidant. And what does carotenoid do? It boosts your immunity by 37% in exactly 20 days. And it has other benefits, added benefits, good for the eyes. It's good for COVID, a time like now when we need our immunity at its best, you know? So it has many other benefits, and it's anti-aging as well. If you want to take, to make sure that you reduce the clock of aging, carotenoid complex is very critical for that. Then we have omega. I'll be talking more about omega as we move on because it's very critical for bone and joint health. And we have an essential mineral that will balance all the other minerals we may have lacked in the diet. Remember, one of the causes of bone health, we were told, an underactive thyroid. When we talk about thyroid, we need things like iodine, you know, and there are many other trace minerals like the selenium, the molybdenum, wherever they are. Quite a number of minerals that you need for your structure, you know, and even for repair where there's damage like zinc. So the multivitamin there will make sure you have the 23 required vitamins and minerals. So that comes with a pack. It could come independently, the different products, TRNN, carotenoid, omega, or the multi, but it also comes as a pack called ProVitality. And that is your super. It's more than just a multivitamin. And that forms the base for everybody on this call. So if you're on this call, whether you think you're unwell or not unwell, ProVitality is very critical for you. Now, and for your parents as well, by the way. Now, the other bone solution is where we have the 3 that you add on to the ProVitality. What are those? You need calcium and magnesium. And when you're buying something that has calcium and magnesium, it needs to be in the ratio of 2:1. And our CalMag has a ratio of 2:1 to the 2 CalMag to 1 magnesium. And then it's added D3 for the absorption. Very, very important. So CalMag is very important. It's chelated. That means the absorption level is very high and it's made from natural stuff. Very important. And it can be taken even by children because we have very many children who are lacking calcium. And when they lack calcium, they don't grow to their normal length, you know? You need to grow to your normal length. So calcium is very important for the youth, for the children, for us, and most importantly, for the elderly. Every older person requires calcium. And remember, we said even people with challenges like the heart disease and cancer, they do require calcium. Heart disease because of the heartbeat and the blood circulation and the formation of blood, and CalMag for cancer because cancer attacks the bones a lot. Now, the other thing is you need omega oils. Omega is important because it's the one that is going to take care of the joints, you know. At the joint level, we normally have a synovial fluid that requires to be very abundant. We are supposed to take 3 servings of fatty fish every day. I mean, every week. We miss that. So omega-3, the beauty with this omega-3, it has the entire family of the 8. They are called essential fatty acids, EFAs. So when you're buying an omega-3, you see it has EPA, DHA, ALA, quite a number of them. And so with Neolive's omega, it has the entire family of 8. And with omega-3 in exactly 2 weeks, taking 3 capsules a day, if you have a problem with your joints, you reduce the inflammation by 68%. So it is very important to know that omega is a natural painkiller. And as you keep taking it together with calcium, the pains, the aches, the swellings, you start seeing a lot of changes in the first 1 month. Then of course we have the full motion. And as you can see there, it's specifically now for the joint area. Where are the joints? They're everywhere in your bones, in your backbone, in your shoulders, in your neck area, in your hands, in your legs. And so what it does, it's going to come and build back the cartilage where the cartilage was damaged, and there's flexibility. And now you have less pain, you have less soreness, you have less inflammation as well. And now the cartilage is being repaired. So that is, and then omega-3 is now offering the oil that will help the movement of the cartilage. And that is why those work hand in hand, the 3 of them. Each of them has a role it plays in the bones, the muscles, the nerves, the joints, the inflammation, and the cartilage. It's a whole complex situation, and the 3 work like that. And now during this festive season, as we go home, this is a time most people have a lot of aches and pain because it's been raining, it's been cold, and you find your parents back at home having those challenges, your aunties. You need to mention about that set plus the Pro-Vitality. Now, moving forward, I mentioned about CalMag. I'll not go into the details. I mentioned about the omega-3. I'll not go into the details. I mentioned about full motion. I'll not go into the details. The other thing is weight management. If you have weight, you actually need to work on it ASAP. ASAP. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it necessary? Extremely. So with our weight loss program, it will help you cut a few kilos every month, maybe 2 to 5 every single month. If your metabolism is high, you can cut more than 5, but it's not advisable to cut weight fast. It needs to be gradual. So we have the weight loss program there. The person who invited you can give you more information. And I think I'm done. Before we finish, I'll be giving you a rundown of the close-up, but I will call a friend of mine who has actually been a beneficiary of this product. And she has been able to use the products. She has been able to benefit from the products. And she is going to give you her testimony. You're going to help me welcome Juliet Mbithi to actually give her testimony. Welcome, Juliet.
Thank you, Gladys, for a well done presentation. Hi, guys. How are you? My name is Hello.
Yes, Juliet, go on.
Okay. My name is Juliet.
Put on your video.
A minute.
Yeah.
It's on now, yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Juliet Mbithi, a very excited distributor of this Neolife company. I joined this opportunity in the year 2003. 2003, I had done 17 years as an accountant with a great company called Cooper Motors. And when I joined, I had a few challenges. I remember I used to take 6 Panadols in a day. And previously, I had been detected with high blood pressure. Unfortunately, in 1990, my father got a stroke and he died at the age of 54 years, a whole profession. And let me tell you, it was very, very devastating. We are a family of 8 children. And then when you add mom and dad, 10, but unfortunately my dad left us in 1990 because of a stroke. And when he got that stroke, being the eldest, everything fell on me. And I said, if it is anything to do with the body, I will do a good research and I'll try to find out what is going to be of benefit to me and how I can help other people. So I kept on going through supplementation, looking for them in shops, because I'd read in a Reader's Digest that you can use certain vitamins. And therefore, by the time Neolife came to me, I had gone through several. And when I got Neolife supplements, I just thank God. And I will never leave Neolife. 18 years down the line, that is what I use. Having joined this opportunity, I found when they were talking of good health, and we were told, health is your greatest wealth. If you don't have good health, there is no way you're going to make money. Never. Number 2, even in the Bible, it is said, it is your duty to take care of your health. It is actually a sin. And therefore, I embarked on that mission. So 2 years down the line after joining Neolife, I developed a problem on my knee. I went to Nairobi Hospital and I was told I have arthritis. So I was told the number 1 thing, I have to keep off my high heels. And you know, I was this smart girl. And I know many of us do like those high heels, but wear them and wear them moderately and you supplement. So when I was discovered, I said, I will not go back to the doctor. I started using the supplements that are required. And up to date, I don't have any challenge. I normally take my supplements the way they are wanted. I normally do full motion together with calcium and threonine every quarterly, but the other months I'm still taking my threonine, calcium, and omega-3. But every quarterly, I make sure I normally include the full motion. So I've continued using them. And at 58 years, I think I'm very happy with the Neolife supplements. So having joined also, I was told people are going out for lifestyle. Exactly 1 year, I qualified for a holiday in Mauritius, the island of leisure and pleasure. And let me tell you, God created Mauritius when he was not tired. You know, when you look at the background, they grow sugarcane, that green. And then it is right in the mid, right on the coastline, that it is blue and the green. It looks very beautiful. And that was a holiday and a half. Another year, 2006, that is the time I went to Mexico. I landed in one of the largest, most central airport by then, Amsterdam. And I just said, wow, what a company, what a holiday. Cancun, Mexico, and life was nice. My challenge is this: money is there. But to the professionals, I want to challenge you. Sometimes when we are invited to listen to this opportunity, we brag a lot because we feel we're in control of our health. As we age, our body actually loses some of the vitamins and minerals, and we are challenged slowly by slowly. And before you know it, you have arthritis, you have a tilted backbone, and you start wondering what is next. My challenge is to the young people and the professionals. Kindly join this opportunity. If you really need to make some serious money, you need to style up your health, because health should be your first priority. Don't think of anything else. Even if you want to make quick money, your health is your business. Today, join the young people. Even if you are not going to do the business seriously, but keep in touch with us so that you know how we are doing. For me, the people we were then, I meet them and they tell me, why, Juliet, you're still looking young. You are still active. Why? Because my system has never slowed down. I'm a great user of the products. I train. Training has no end. And knowledge is power. Without knowledge, even in the Bible, it is written, my people shall perish. So join the opportunity. Those who are still there, let us hang on, because I believe life has no shortcut. Let's be users of the products. Let's do the exercises. Let's be dutiful towards the training. So mine is to tell you our products are great, fully researched products, and have no regret in joining Neolife. Welcome aboard. For those who are still there, let us hang on. Your time will come. Let's build our network. God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much, Juliet. That was amazing, short and sweet. For me, I'll just do a closure right now, because at the end of the day, what Juliet has said, she has actually summarized everything. One of the reasons why we encourage people to be part of us is because every time you're learning, and there's nothing as important as learning. You're told you cannot afford to ripen. When you ripen, when something ripens, the next thing is it rots. So you must choose to remain green. So what we do with Neolife as an institution, because it's a serious institution that is empowering millions and millions of people in over 55 world markets, our work is to make sure that we come and learn. Today we've learned about bone and joint health. You will need to know about cancer prevention. You need to understand about diabetes. You need to understand about heart. You need to understand about the hormonal issues. I mean, there are so many things that you need to know. We are yet to talk even about using a skincare that is not chemical. We also have a range of home care that is go green. That's where the world is going. Using go green detergents, not chemical ones. Using a foliar that is natural for the farming and for the landscaping. So what we are saying is, we are extending an ad to you so that you come and you choose what you want from Neolife. The choice is yours. You can choose just the learning and the products, and that becomes, that's it. This is what I want And please keep plugging in to learn more. There are people who choose to come in and they're able to empower other people with the products. Why not? If somebody comes to you and tells you, I'm feeling A, B, C, D, just don't say Pole and then say, I'll pray for you. No. Say, Pole, I'll pray for you, but I have 1, 2, 3. Would you look at it? Would you look at it? And when they look at it, because in themselves, they are wise people. Share the information, let them also internalize it for themselves. And so that even when they are buying, they're understanding, what is this that I'm doing? And when now they take the products and they're healthier, then that is wonderful. So don't fear to tell somebody that there's a great product that can help them. For those of us who are Christians, you know that many times Jesus healed, literally healing. He did not need to preach. He actually healed, he fed. He actually acted on the needs on the table. And so we are saying we have a candle to light people's lives, whether it is health, whether it is even a community where people can retire into, so that they have a community where when they retire, they are not idle, they are not bored, they are not wondering what I can do. You can travel. If you've never ever traveled the world for a lifestyle, not business meeting or job meeting, lifestyle. This is an opportunity that can give you that. Juliet has just mentioned that she's traveled. She didn't mention about other travel she's done. She only talked about Mauritius. And this is a place where you can travel. I have traveled a little bit. I want to travel more. And there are many people who travel every other year. It's up to you to decide that. Then you also need something that you can do for finances. It's a business you can look into, even if it's giving you a simple 10, 20, 30, 40,000. If you save that money for the next 5 to 10 years, then you're set for your retirement. Because what retirement requires is not really assets, dead assets. What retirement requires is a cash flow. Do you have money? Or do you just have a shamba? You might want to sell it and it's not going and you need cash. No. You need something that can give you a cash flow. Then, of course, on behalf of everyone who invited you, if you're a guest here, please, after the meeting, WhatsApp the person who invited you and ask them, where do we go from now? I need the product. How do I get them? My mom needs the product. My auntie needs the product. How do I get them? They will sort you out. You can also say, I want to do the business. I wanted to use the product. I wanted to do the business. I wanted to travel. And I wanted personal development. If you want all those things, talk to the person who invited you. They'll show you how to partner with us. And you own it. Because the minute you partner with us, you own that business as yours, in your name, rightfully yours, to do whatever it is you want to do with it, even if it's just using. Otherwise, thank you very much, guys. I have many other testimonies I would have given, but because of time, let's just call it a day and say that we hope that this was a Sunday afternoon, 1 hour well spent. And we hope that using this information, you're gonna be a light to somebody else moving forward. We hope to catch up with you after fast, the following Sunday. I believe it will be on the 9th or something like that. Then we'll be able to resume back our Sunday meetings. Thank you very much. God bless you. It was truly a pleasure, and happy festivities. Take care of yourself, guys. There's COVID. COVID is real. Accidents do happen. People are quite careless during this season. Just make sure you are a responsible Kenyan. And let's meet 2022, God giving us the date. And we start the year running. And make sure 2022, you count it as the politicians make their moves. You're also making your move to improve your life. Thank you. God bless.
Bye.
Bye and God
Thank you, Gladys.
All right.
Bye.
All right.